everybody. So I have adopted block scheduling into my life for the past week because I have found myself working from home and I wanted a little bit more structure. And I wanted to kind of give a review of how that was working for me. Now, for those of you not familiar with block scheduling, it's where you divide your days up into blocks with certain tasks for each block. It's a little bit different than time blocking. And in my experience, I found a lot of people who had kind of freelance jobs really benefit from this, but I couldn't find a lot of information on people using it for like a 9-to-5 office job. And so now that I'm working from home, I wanted to try it out for a week, kind of give my impression and talk about what went well and what didn't. And then also talk about how I used my CleverFox to kind of keep me on track for a lot of those blocks. So let me first review what my blocks are, and then I'll talk about how well I stuck to them and where I can make improvements. So my first block is from 6:30 to 7:30. So I want to wake up and actually get out of bed. So don't actually just look at my phone in bed for 15, 20 minutes. I want to write my priorities down, figure out what the most important things are for the day. I do not want to hit snooze. This is very hard because it's something that I do a lot, but don't hit snooze. Want to drink 20 ounces of water. And social was okay as long as I didn't do it in bed. So I'm allowed to look at my Facebook, I'm allowed to look at Instagram, just not in bed, which is where I prefer to look at it when I wake up. So then my next block was my working block. So this one starts at 7:30 and goes until noon. For here, there is no screen time. So no Facebook, no Instagram. So that's why I put actually work. I wanted to tackle my hardest tasks first because I've been told that that's how to do them better. I wanted to review any Outlook flags, any things that I had marked up as tasks. I want to check my email and then manage my time. And then I allowed myself one walk because I'm trying to go on walk breaks. But once again, no social media, right? And then my next block is lunch from noon to 1. So it's okay to check my social media at this time. I can have a longer walk break if I want. And then I'd like to ideally have consumed another 20 ounces of water. So those are my first 3 blocks. And by the way, I should mention, I use the Happy Planner colorful boxes to make these. So that's how I made those. That was a lot of fun. All right, so my 4th block is my second working block from 1 to 4:30. So once again, actually work, so no screen time. I want to check my email, finish any outlying tasks, manage my time, and then once again, no social. I can go on another walk, and then also have consumed 20 ounces of water. So ideally, if I was doing this properly, I would have 60 ounces of water by 4:30. Then the next block is what I call the post-work block. This is from 4:30 to 9. This is when I can do my paper planning, I can run any errands, I can make dinner and also do the dishes, which is something I'm trying to stay on top of. I can do my meditation. I can do another walk if I haven't reached my 10K step goal. I can do another 20 ounces of water, and then social media is okay during this time frame. And then starting at 9 is my PM routine. So during this time, I can watch YouTube. I usually like to watch YouTube as I go to sleep. I can check off my tasks in some software that I use. This is when I can do my skincare. I want to stop eating by 9, so no more snacking. I can stop. And then I kind of made a rule to myself. I said, okay, it's okay you can watch YouTube, but after 10:30, if you can't sleep, then you have to turn off the screen. So you can only read after 10:30, or alternatively, I could listen to an audiobook or something, but no actual physical screen time after 10:30. And then ideally, I wanted to get to sleep by 10:30, and then 10:30 to 6:30 would give me 8 hours of sleep. So that was the goal. So how did I do, right? Let me first kind of walk you through overall how the week went. So it's funny, I actually put 6:30 to 7:30 up here because honestly, I generally woke up by 6. So I found out that I needed a little less than 8 hours of sleep. At least that's what my body told me. And since I said I don't want to snooze and I want to get right out of bed, a lot of times I found myself waking up at like 5:50, at 6 a.m. So this routine started a little bit sooner than I thought. But I didn't snooze the whole week, so I was really proud of that. Not so good on the 20 ounces of water, but I did make a point to drink more water, which is helpful. And I was very good about not looking at my social media in bed at all. So I'm really, really proud of that. Now, ideally, I would take this full hour to kind of like think about the day and get myself ready for work. But I'll be honest, I got up at 6, and after like writing my priorities, which took like 10, 15 minutes, honestly, by like 6:45, like I was ready to start work because I'm just like ready to get the day done. So I don't know how well taking this whole hour to myself will be, but at least I didn't snooze, so I'm proud of that. And there were definitely a couple days where I was really tired and I wanted to snooze, but I didn't. Now, as far as working goes, I felt like I had productive days. I sort of kept to my no screen time. I found that it was really, really hard for me to not look at my screen at all during these 5 hours. So I would take like a couple chunks here and there. So I'd say, okay, you can take a little break, you can take a little break. But I did a lot better not looking at my phone, especially since it's so hard because you work from home. And so you can pretty much just grab your phone instinctively, and it made me realize how much, just out of boredom, I just grab my phone and I look. So I felt like I did really well. Or sorry, I don't want to say really well. I did fairly well. For lunch, sometimes my lunch didn't always start at noon, and the thing about block scheduling is you can move it around. But but for the most part, this lunch block's easy because I could look at my social media, so that's okay. And I usually want to get up and take a longer walk anyway, so that was good. For this block, once again, I found myself productive. I wouldn't say that I was completely true to no screen time during that block, but I was at least more conscious of it, which I liked. My post-work block, this one, I felt like I probably did very well. I don't know if I always ended it by 9, sometimes by 9:30, but for the most part, I kept to this. And then for my PM routine, I kept to this too. I was usually in bed by 10:30. I think a night or two I went to bed at 11, but I didn't go to bed too late, which is really good. So, and also I was very good about my walk breaks, so that was good. I've been really trying to focus on getting my walk breaks, which I'll have to talk about in another video, but I have definitely been good about my 10,000 steps. So that's my block scheduling. So now let me show you with my CleverFox kind of how I manage that. So let me first show you, let me see here. Here's my week. So I have all my goals here for the week, and then I have my follower counts, and then I have my habits. And I apologize, my handwriting is not the best in this CleverFox, but it gets the job done. So these are kind of all the habits that I wanted to focus on. So you can see I didn't snooze at all once. I wanted to actually get out of bed. Sometimes I didn't get out of bed right away, which is why I kind of put that like a question mark there. I want to be a little bit better about my water, but another reason I wanted to get out of bed was because I noticed the longer I stay in bed, the more I have back pain. So that's why I was also kind of rating my back pain here. And I was also really good about not doing my social media in bed. So let me actually kind of show you what a typical day looked like. All right, so here's my Monday. And so the very first thing that I would do is I'd get up, and I don't know if you guys have heard of morning pages. I've tried morning pages before where you write 3 pages before you do anything else. That's a little bit much for me. So I just did this for right now. I used this space to kind of just write my thoughts of what I was doing. And then for my activities, I put a step sticker to mark how many steps that I got. For personal development, I'd mark if I listen to a podcast. Usually I listen to podcasts on my walks. I would mark if I did a meditation. Sometimes I was good about doing meditation this week. Sometimes I wasn't. For my family and friends, I would just mark who I talked to, because I know it sounds silly, but with this coronavirus, like, we really want to be, knowledgeable about who we're talking to. And then what I did was I gave myself a score for the week, or sorry, for the day, of how I think I did for my blocks. And I also would note my back pain and how long I was in bed for, that kind of thing. But here's kind of an example of my day. I started off using washi to mark all the different blocks. So here's the AM block, here's the work block, here's the lunch block, and I'll be honest, it was kind of annoying. So even though this is kind of cool looking, I don't think I can do this every day. But it just kind of shows you, okay, here's a walk that I took at 8:30, and I would put my current step count, and then here's another walk I took at 6, and then that was my current step count. And sometimes I'd mark when I'd grab breakfast, that kind of thing. And then I always made sure to put my my wins and how I'll improve for each day. So that was Monday. Here's Tuesday. Once again, lots of writing, lots of different things. Still using that, top part for writing. And I think this is a good amount for now of just getting out my thoughts. And then here's where I kind of use highlighters to mark my blocks so I can get a better idea of when my blocks start. And then, once again, just marking my steps, that kind of thing. And then kind of throughout the rest of the week, I didn't mark my blocks in the sides here. I just kind of mentally kept note of them because I kind of got into the groove of them. But once again, still I'm using that side there for notes. And here's some notes here. Sometimes if I have some extra space over on the side, because I just got busy and didn't write anything, I can put stickers. So here's some just Erin Condren stickers that I put that spoke to me for that day. Once again, this is Friday, and these are also Erin Condren stickers too, so they fit really well up there. This is Saturday. Now Saturday for my blocks, I wasn't holding myself accountable as much for the blocks just because I'm not working, but I still tried to do the whole no snooze, don't look at your social in bed, still get up and, write your thoughts. I just wasn't as, I didn't stay strict to the blocks of no social, that kind of thing. And then this is Sunday, which I'm still kind of filling out, that kind of thing. And then this is my bookmark. So yeah, so essentially, the block scheduling went fairly well. I liked it. I also did set my watch for all the different blocks, so I'd get a 15-minute alarm when it went off. And so that was kind of cool. I think next week, what I'm going to do is for my PM routine, I think, even though this is going to suck, at 9 p.m., I think I'm going to try to have no screen time. And I'm going to see if that helps improve my sleeping a little bit. Because I did notice, even when I woke up at 6, even when I didn't snooze, I was still really, really, really tired. And I'd like to see if you wake up feeling a little bit more rested. I don't know. But I'm also going to be reading for my readathon, so I thought it would kind of an excuse to do that. So, so I'm just going to try and just do no screen time at all by 9, and then still wake up at 6, and then still be able to get everything in. But otherwise, I think I'm going to keep these blocks as they are. Like I said, I'll probably, even though it's ideal to take an hour to yourself in the morning, I don't know if I really can do that because there's just too much all right, let's go to work. I figured out what I need to do. That's just me. But, we'll see if I get better about that. But anyway, so that's kind of my wrap up of my block scheduling. I look forward to checking in and kind of showing you how it's going. But for now, since everything is so chaotic, I thought that this would give me a little bit of structure. And so, so that's my week. And then let's see how it goes next week.